What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Keane, and we're returning to Perfect Symmetry 2008. Thank you as always to Phil. And the next track is Better Than This, which is a comparative value judgment, an assessment of quality or desirability with this, whatever that might be, but referring to some experience, some situation, some process in the present or in the immediate vicinity or proximity being inferior or less desirable than some other process, experience, situation, which is here referenced implicitly. Which is to say, despite the comparative value assessment taking place being clear in terms of what is preferable by the perspective of the speaker, the character of whatever this comparison is not given in this admittedly cryptic phrase. So yeah, I don't know what to expect, but some manner of comparison seems likely. Let's see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Keane, and the track is Better Than This.
Everywhere
So yeah, that one, like, lyrically, I'm still struggling to put the pieces together, but it's addressed to another person. At first I was like, is he saying you or we? Which, like, I suppose in a way they could be one and then the other, meaning like two parts to the same idea, that like if you can be better than this, it means we can be better than this. But I think it was primarily you, if I'm hearing that right. But yeah, so it sounds like it's a suggestion that, a situation could improve if the other person would recognize what needs to be done. I was admittedly focusing on the Sonics, which, like, they were still rich, and Chaplin's voice still had a lot of, sort of elegant charisma to it, but both the Sonics more generally, and even his vocals, had a bit, like, for lack of a better word, a zanier sound here. Not, I think that's maybe saying too much, but it did feel like it was a little quirkier in terms of some of the sounds. There was that weird, like, distorted electronic sound that was like part of the melodic structure, and then there were those little like triple clap flourishes, which that's not terribly unusual, but it like stood out. Like it wasn't just a, like kick drum and snare percussive rhythm. There was like hand claps in there, and his vocals had a bit of a, like, again, what's the right word without going too far? I was going to say silliness. I think that's too far, but there was like some like quirky vocal delivery moments, like still well done, but definitely like less smooth and rich and sailing like a lot of his vocals, and almost like deliberately a bit off the beaten path, a bit bizarre. So yeah, I don't quite know what to make of the lyrics on a first listen, but it does sound like it's a statement that another person, they need to recognize the distinction between what they're doing now and what they could be doing, and maybe what that would lead to, or how that would improve things, and they could be so much better than this, and thus like the dynamic, the situation could be so much better. So yeah, it feels like there's judgment built into it, but in a way that's more like, can't you see, like, aren't you recognizing that, the situation here, the issue here is your own, and you need to turn it around, once you recognize that. So yeah, maybe that's not even right, but even if it is, there's obviously more detail that I couldn't pick up on a first listen, though again, it was in part because I was like following the, like, somewhat eccentric, maybe that's the right word, sonics and vocal delivery. So yeah, a cool tune. I don't quite know what to make of it on a first listen, but it is still compelling. It's still like, catchy in a way. It feels like a lot of their songs just have like a really good melody, and of course Chaplin's vocals are often right at the center of that. This one had a like more eccentric or quirky sound to it, but it was still engaging, still catchy. So in any case, let me know what you think, and the Sleeping Luca and I will see you for the next one. Peace.